Hey everybody, Lou here. Thanks for tuning in. So this video is a little special. Um, for as long as I can remember, I suffered a stutter. Now, those of you who have been around me a long time or know me personally, yeah, you probably experienced it. Me talking and tripping over a few words. Totally normal. Um, yeah, since like a small young age, I suffered it. Um, didn't really get in the way that much. I mean, I went to speech therapy. I guess I just didn't take. Probably should have invested a lot more into speech therapy, but life goes on. Definitely not alone in this. I know people that have had a stutter way worse than mine. Embarrassing, yes, but being someone who could relate, I had to make fun. I mean, it's usually the butt end of a joke, someone stuttering, but like I said, it's very serious and it sucks, but like I said, you find ways around it. When I make these videos, sometimes if it's complex, I'll write out a script or rehearse, what I'm going to say before I film, and it helps. But this particular episode or video episode, I'm going to just free ball it. I think it flows better. But yeah, stuttering been with me for a long time, and it hasn't really interfered in my life that much. It has gotten in the way. Like I could have an orchestra of words and speeches in my head, and when I try to say them, sometimes they just won't connect. I don't know the whole medical terminology on what's going on. So basically, layman's terms, the speech part of your brain, but it's getting ready to come out your mouth, and you dialogue. Uh, it kind of short circuits, it scrambles. It's like a glitch in the system, put it that way. And it could be embarrassing sometimes, especially when you're trying to get your point across or try to be taken serious. It sucks, but you like I said, I get away. I get away with it. Like I said, either rehearse what I'm going to say or will take my time. Not to the point where I sound like William Shatner, but if I have to slow down my speech, because odds are if I say it one time and I mess it up, then I'm probably not gonna, say that phrase again because I'll probably stutter over it, or I'll try and say things too fast. But either way, what are you gonna do? It's part of my life, other people's lives. But I have a good deal of friends that really don't call me out on it, so that's kind of cool. And yeah, it could be embarrassing sometimes. Like in fact, I'm making a video about it. I feel comfortable enough talking to you guys about it, sharing it with the world. Only probably 5 people are gonna view this video, but whatever. Putting it out there. Like I said, not alone though, because there's a lot of famous people. I want to say, maybe people you might not know, but historic figures maybe that you might have heard of that have stutters um, or stammers. Stammers, I think, is a little more intense version of stuttering. There's like levels, so I get dry when I do these videos now. I'm getting older. I don't know, but yeah, like trying to get my point across in a hurry. I think that's usually the problem, or it's the excuse they give. When they try to rationalize why people stutter. Um, there's a Greek. I don't want to call him a philosopher. I don't think that was his title. He was an orator, which is like a public speaker. Demethos. I'm not even going to pronounce his full name because I'll probably mess it up. So I'm just going to call him Demo. I'll leave a link. So anyway, public speaker, but turns out he had a stutter early on in life. And his cure was he put marbles in his mouth and, spoke these long speeches while like staring at a mirror. Apparently it worked. King George IV, a king of England. Now, if you're a king, that's kind of your job, addressing the public. And it's if you're shy or timid, it's kind of embarrassing if you trip on your words, especially in front of a lot of people, or if you're broadcasting out, which he did. He never quite got over the stutter, but he had a commoner, which we find out which was a legit commoner, like a nobody, pose as a speech therapist and help him out. In fact, there's a movie called The King's Speech, which is, I watched it just because, I could relate. And I was like, oh, snap. It was actually pretty good and interesting movie. He was a good king. And, it kind of deep dive into his life, full of ups and downs, including the speech impediment and this, guy practically showing up out of nowhere, helping him talk. So, King George the Fourth had a stutter. Winston Churchill, Prime Minister of England during World War II, he, pretty much kind of whipped England back into shape and showed some muscle. Gave courage to the English people while they were, under the Nazi threat. So, that's cool. He had a stutter. I mean, you would have known. He doesn't. I never really heard him talk like that. But when he did give speeches, people listened, and I thought he did a good job. God, so many other people here. Oh, Joe Biden, former vice president, now running for president. I haven't really heard him stutter. It's mentioned that he did stutter or have a stutter at one point, and I mean, look, he made it to the White House. He's running for president. So, there you go. There was a Byzantine emperor who it was in his name, actually. Michael the Stammerer. But like I said, it didn't really hinder him that much because he went about his duties. And he wasn't the greatest emperor of during his reign, but his dynasty pretty much paved the way for a long-lasting dynasty that kind of brought Byzantium into the Golden Age. So, there you go. In a nutshell, that's, a few people I could list off the top of my head that had a speech, problem, overcame it in some way, and achieved great things. Now, like I said, this is, all talk, but I do believe if you have some kind of, I don't want to say disability because there's nothing disabling about this. I mean, unless it's very severe, but if anything, you should use it to make you stronger. If something's holding you back, flip it on its head and use it as fuel. Use it to, ignite any ideas that, could get you to where you got to go. Don't let nothing hold you back, even if it's a speech impediment, some kind of disability where you can't think, or whatever paralyzing fear that prevents you from achieving your goals. Destroy them. Be like, listen, I'm still breathing, I'm still here. Yeah, I have issues, but they're nothing compared to other tragic stuff that's happening all around us. Because when you look at it and put all the tragedies that are happening around you into perspective, it's like, you know what? Not so bad. I think I could, deal with this and persevere. That's all. That's just a bit of advice. Just wanted to tell you guys a little about my everlasting issue that, I've had growing up, and found ways to deal and cope and, get to where I'm going today. So, yeah. I hope this inspired a few people. Like, if anyone listening to this has a stutter and is embarrassed by it, don't be. There's way more things out there that could, ruin a person's, social status. And this ain't one of them. So, keep that in mind. You're fine. Nothing wrong with you. Just keep doing what you're doing and live life to the fullest. All right, guys. Once again, thanks for listening to this. Hope you get something out of it. Leave a comment if you, want to add to this, or if you know someone who has a speech impediment. Hey, share your story. All right, guys. As always, thanks for listening. And until next time, see you all later. Peace.